Hello, Tampa Bay and fellow Japanese Pokemon card enthusiasts. Welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about my experiment today, why I'm holding these five cards. Uh, so we're doing a grading experiment, and I thought that these were my best grading candidates. I bought each of these cards with the intent to grade them, and tonight I sat down with a jeweler's loop and LED light, and now I'm not quite so sure. So I bought two Mewtwo's from the Japanese 151 set, which I already discussed. These guys, I discussed all these cards, just a quick overview for those who haven't seen the previous videos. Two Mewtwo's, both around $35 with the shipping cost included. Um, the Rockets Moltres, which was low 30s, I believe 31 or $32 with shipping included. Dragalge was the low 40s, I think 42 or $43, and the Scizor here from the Crossing the Ruins set was the most expensive of the bunch. He was like 50, I believe, was the accepted offer before shipping. So somewhere in the high 50s with shipping attached. Um, so sat down with these tools as I mentioned, and now the scary part is I think I'm finally learning what I'm looking at. I've never submitted cards for grading before. This batch is my first real attempt at buying cards specifically with grading in mind. Uh, I bought each of these cards because I find each of them beautiful and each of them speaks to me in a different way. The artwork on Dragalge and the colors and the flash and the way that it looks like it's floating and swimming at the same time. I love this card. I will be happy to keep it regardless. I could say the same for all these cards, but that's not really the intent of my channel or of my collection. It's called the passing binder for a reason. There is nothing permanent in life. We definitely need to get used to the idea of impermanence. Things come, things go. The only constant in life is change. So that's kind of the approach that I'm taking with my collection. Is I want to appreciate these things for the time that I have them. We'll go on a journey together, but I ultimately understand that these are not something that I will have forever. Uh, which only makes it a little bit more beautiful for the time that we do spend together. So I started looking at these cards in much closer detail, and on the Mewtwo specifically, I noticed a white spot in roughly the same place on both cards. On one of them, it was in the upper. They're both in the upper left corner, but on one it was off to the side, and on the other one it was up top. And I'm really worried because the cards seem flawless otherwise, and I don't know if that's just a normal thing that happens when the card gets cut, or if they kind of don't always have perfect edges. It kind of heartens me a little bit to see that the card has this like the same flaw, but then again, now did I just get the two PSA or two 8 or 9s just right off the bat? I guess we're gonna submit them to find out. um Still feel good about the card, still feel good about the photos. I don't think anybody was intentionally hiding these flaws. I think it's just you spend enough time looking for something, you're always bound to find something, and that's right where I want to lead into the next card. The one that I was the most excited for because the insane spread between a raw card and a graded card. This one had the biggest one. It was also the one that I spent the most money on. Uh, the reason I bought is that I love Scizor. He's one of the staples in my teams whenever I play the video games. I almost always have this guy. He means a lot to me. I love that he's a bug, but he's also steel. He's really only got one weakness. If you can keep this guy away from fire, you're good to go, and that obviously would stand true for the card as well. Um, when I saw it, the holofoil's in great shape. The front of the card is awesome. The corners are all clean on both sides of the card, but I did notice that like a small indentation or like a small gouge in the back of the card, and that really just kills any prospect of grading for it to be perfect. Like you're basically already off the bat, you know that it can't be a 10, and that hurts a bit because it's the most expensive card that I bought, but it also teaches me a lesson that, these cards aren't perfect, especially when you're dealing with vintage ones. These are 20 to 30 years old, and who knows what condition they've been kept in. These are in great shape. These cards are in better shape than anything I had in my binder. You know, those were held all the time. I had cards stacked on top of other cards inside the same slot. There were no penny sleeves and top loaders. It was just, you know, binder pages for a kid. And those things got handled all the time. So these cards are still in absolutely pristine condition compared to any others that I've owned in my life. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is like I I feel like looking for perfect cards when I already know that perfect doesn't exist. Not in Pokemon cards, not in the world. You know, it's is we're looking for what's the amount of imperfect that's acceptable. So I guess with that being said, now I have a decision to make. Would you guys submit all these cards? Am I being too harsh on them? Would you cut Scizor because of the dent on the back? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious, especially if maybe I've got a viewer who's had cards graded before. How harsh are they? Um, you know, I guess after examining these cards and being as hard on them as I think that a grader is gonna be, putting them under more magnification with my phone than anybody's ever gonna have with their little magnifying glass. I think maybe the real goal of the submission isn't getting tens. Maybe it's learning how to see and how to train my eye on what a 10 actually is and what that actually means. Thanks again, Tampa Bay, and thanks, Japanese card enthusiasts. Uh, I look forward to seeing you next time.